Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Thanks for joining me. We're back in Butterfly Valley again today. Right, I hope you're all doing well. Looking forward to another episode over here. We are working on our little butterfly area here. Butterfly and Sloths. I love these little guys. Look at them. Adorable. Brilliant little things. Right. So last episode, we finished off our fountain area over there. And then we started constructing this. Discovered that I could remove all the cage from around the sloth, which is absolutely brilliant. I think they just look awesome like that. I can really blend them in nicely to this area. So the rest of this area is mainly going to be lots of flowers, basically, because I want it to be like a real nature reserve. But I did have an idea of a little construction that I wanted to do. And this is basically because I want to use the conservation pack to make a little shed that I want to put in this area just here. Now I don't know if I'm actually going to use this particular look. That's just weird to me. What's this? Oh, a 3D printed what you see. That just, yeah, it just looks weird, doesn't it? So I'm not really keen on that. I love this sort of stuff. I quite like the idea of trying to do something with this as the roof maybe. But I think I'm going to have to go non-conservation pack first, just to get the walls. What sort of walls do I want? I want wood. I don't want it to look modern. I want it to look old and rustic and like a ramshackle shed, you know. I don't want logs. I do want it to look wooden. What's this stuff? Oh no, that's way too fancy. This is probably, that has potential. It's kind of big though, that one. I might have to do some custom stuff. Yeah, I think this is probably the look that I want, but I don't think I want it that big. That looks really big to me for a little shed. So that's going to be too small. I want it, yeah. I might do this and then kind of sink it into the ground. Let's give it a go. But I think I don't know. See, that's no, that's basically what I had before, isn't it? That's no. Let's try it. Let's try this because I think it's the height that bothers me. So let's use this, and then I can shrink it into the ground a little bit. I think try and sink it down. Right, now let's come back into this. And let's see if I can use any of this stuff on the roof. So I like the bendy stuff. What else have we got? Got some weird angled stuff. So that looks kind of cool, but I think hang on, that one's curved. Oh, that one's curved. Okay, let's see if I can attach this to the surface. Let's see what I can do here. See, that's the kind of look I was thinking of. Let's see if you can bring that to the front. I don't think I can get overlap in front and back, unfortunately. I don't think that's quite going to happen. No. Because it's exactly the same pixel length, unfortunately. Now, can I do... Yeah, something like that is what I'm thinking. And then I can possibly just twist that and drag it over. Have a look. How does that look? About balanced? I think it does. I think we're going to have to just drag all of that just slightly this way, just so I'm not getting any graphical bugs at all. Right, now I'm just wondering whether I want them touching or if I want to just add another piece down the middle possibly. I might just do this. Let's see what this looks like. Kind of like the idea of a central piece like this, which kind of connects them. Just trying to get it into the middle first, which I think that pretty much is. Yeah, unfortunately the back looks a bit off, but so I may have to copy them backwards, unfortunately. Let's see if I can make that work. Oh, I tell you what, does it work without the gaps? Actually, that kind of makes sense, doesn't it? Because you wouldn't want gaps in your roof, not if it's an actual storage shed. Quite like the little gaps at the front. I don't mind that. You know what, actually that's pretty cool, although that is a floating bit of wood now, so actually that one would make sense if it went backwards a bit. No, because then it's hang on, let's have a look. What does that look like? Okay, now it's hovering at the back. I can't do a huge amount about that, but I want it to look good at the front. Okay, I think it needs to look solid, doesn't it? See, the back looks off, but I can hide the back. I'm not sure what I can do with this though. I may have bitten off more than I can chew here. Let's be honest. I do that a lot. See, I'm already thinking that looks too fancy. Yeah. It's a shame. I do like the idea of it. It's just a bit too fancy. I really wanted this to look quite worn out. I think the iron is probably going to be a good roof for this. This is the kind of, yeah, that's the kind of roof I was thinking of. Just realised this wall here is in the wrong place, isn't it? That should be on the inside like that. Okay, let's do this, and then we've got edges. Whoops. Like so. Let's come back into here and just quickly fill in the gaps. Oh, come on. Here it is. Right. Let's get a couple of those on. Now, obviously, I'm not going to keep this purple. That would be madness. I need this to be a lovely brown. Okay. Right, now see that it's too big, you see. So what I'm thinking is if I can just bring it down like that, so it still looks like you can put a door on it and walk into it, is what I'm thinking. Okay, that's cool. Now let's think. Now what I do want to do, let's get back into the conservation pack, because I'm just wondering if there's doors in this actually. Let's have a look. No, there aren't doors and windows, that's fine, but there are gutters, and I love the idea of some guttering. Let's change the colour probably to black. And then I want these feeding into a water butt. That would look really cool. So what pieces do we have here? I need an end piece. Like that. And then I want a down pipe. Actually, I probably need an end piece. Let's do an end piece at this end as well. And then I can whack a down pipe on. Something like that. Okay, now let's see, where is a water butt? I'm sure there's one here somewhere. Oh wow, that's huge. That's fine. Yeah, okay, that works. And then let's turn it to the pipe. And the little tap bit is like that, and then you've got a water butt stand here as well, which is pretty cool. Which can go kind of like that. Beautiful. Tell you what, I think the water butt ought to be a green. Make it stand out nicely. There we go. This is looking good, isn't it? I'm wondering if I want to duplicate all of this actually to the other side as well. Usually what you'd have on this, you'd have a gutter down both sides and then they'd link along the back, so it all went into one water butt. But actually I'm thinking I might just do it so that it goes into one along the back. So I can, hopefully I can just copy this straight over like this. Hey presto, there we go. Second water butt. Let's just make sure I get that looking roughly the same. Yep, that looks good to me. There we go, a second water butt. Awesome. Right, now I'm going to need a door, but what else do I want? Let's just plonk a few items down. So actually, let's just get rid of this snapping. So I'm definitely going to want probably a couple of wheelbarrows. What do we got here? Watering cans. Without a doubt, we're going to want a few watering cans. A hose? No, because we've got the water butts. I don't think. Oh, would they? Yeah, they probably would have a hose as well. Actually, that probably would go on there somewhere. You definitely have a shovel. You probably wouldn't have one of them. I'll get another spade, a rake, a fork, definitely a broom. Oh, a tool hook, that's pretty cool. Ah, yes, that could look good. I could have them on the side here and have all the tools kind of hanging. No, that's a bit over the top. What is that? A trellis? Okay, interesting. Right, any more little tools or anything that I would want? Oh, buckets. Let's have two small ones and a big one. Let's go for a couple of plastic crates as well. I like them. Ah, yes, the insect hotels. I will have some of them over here, so I'll just plonk one of them down. I'll definitely have one of these. A trug, yeah. Let's get a trug. I love doing this sort of thing. I love being creative with this stuff. Okay, that's looking good. So, let's get a door on first. Let's actually try and finish the main building. So what sort of door? Unfortunately, there is not a good range of doors in this game. I don't really like many of the doors. That could look okay if I put it as a different colour, potentially. That's too big. Oh, driftwood door. Oh, that's different. That's a new one. I haven't seen that before. I'm just going to whack that one on there for now and just see if there's anything better. No. Oh, glass door. Definitely not. See, there really isn't many good doors. Actually, that's probably a better one. That one looks a little bit odd. An African single door. Let's try this one. So first let's get it in the middle and down to the ground. Let's just sink it in a bit. I wonder if I can change colours on this. I can. The main body. A brown, a green. Maybe I should go for a different green. A light green. Kind of makes it stand out a bit, doesn't it? Okay, and how about windows? Are there any appropriate windows? Again, there's not a huge range of windows. I quite like a little wooden window. So that's okay. I could probably do something on the side, sort of double them up like that. See, I think that looks pretty decent. I probably wouldn't have one around here, but yeah, quite like a window on the side there. I think that's about as good as they're going to get. Things like that don't look right. The big, these are just, they're too big and they're too fancy. Yeah, I think that's a pretty good one. I like the colour actually as well. That kind of blends in nicely. I think this green is too much. Maybe I should go for a brown or even a black. No. A white. No. Maybe just the dark green, the same as the water butt actually. Yeah, okay, that's good. I like that. Cool. Okay, so what I want to do at the front is some sort of little pathway. Not sure quite how I'm going to do that yet, but I've got a bit of an idea. I'm just going to get rid of that again actually. Oh no, hang on, that's okay, that's gone wonky now. Let's just move this one. Right, let's get a couple of these parked kind of around here. Like so. Let's make one of them a slightly different colour. No, let's not keep going for the same greens. Let's try and mix the greens up a little bit. There we go, that's cool. Actually, can you change? Yeah, the handle colour, nice. Let's go for a different coloured handle on that one as well. Try and mix it up a bit. That looks good. So the hose, I think, will probably look good on the front. So let's do a line to surface there. I think that looks good actually, because it kind of suggests that there's a water supply inside the shed and that they can access it using that if they need to. And logically you would store this little thing next to it, just in case. Actually, you probably, yeah, that's fine. Let's leave that a little bit wonky like that. Oops. Okay, yep. And then we can have the ground is a little bit off here, but that's fine. You stacked like that. I'll stack this one on top. I'll change its colour. Let's just make sure that's actually touching. Don't want it hovering. Yeah, that looks good. And let's change this one to a, no, red does not look good. How about a yellow? Yeah, that looks good. Okay, that's nice. Maybe a little basket just down here as well. So that's how they gather stuff up if they want to. And then watering cans. Logically, watering cans will be kept next to the water butts. Makes sense. So let's do two next to here. Let's change the colour. Let's get a blue one. And then one down here next to this one. And this one can be a red watering can. And then we have a few buckets. maybe some buckets stored around the back here. Let's get one upside down. And these definitely need changing colour. A light blue, a dark blue, and a muddy yellow colour. That looks cool. Excellent. Okay. There we go. Got our little shed. Oh, our tools. Mustn't forget our tools. Where are they going to go? I guess they could lean against the side over here, couldn't they? Tell you what, let's do an angle snap on this little dude. So I need them to be an angle roughly like that. These things are always hard to make look good because you've got to play around with them just to try and get them sitting right. See, and then you end up with it not touching the ground and not touching the wall. Very tricky. Right, let's just move this one over a bit. Now I'll tell you what I'm actually going to try here. I'm going to try and be clever because, you know, sometimes I can be. I'm going to come back into here, find our conservation pack, find our tools, and I'm hoping I can simply, yeah, there we go. It kind of works. It's fine. I'll move them. I just want to kind of do that, and then I can manipulate them a little bit. Just speeds the process up a little bit. Actually, I wonder if can I, yeah, see that works. Then if I just lower that down, no, because that's not quite, okay, right, let's try it on this one as well. I mean, it's not like I'm going for hyper-realism, but I don't want things floating in the air, do I? Okay, and then this one needs to come up. Okay, there we go. Cool. Right, and then I just need to move my watering can. That's fine. I didn't do a fork, did I? Tell you what, let's do the fork. Let's put the fork lying down like someone's just dumped it because there wasn't enough room to put it up on the wall. Right, how are we looking? I think that's pretty cool. Obviously there'll be a whole load of foliage all around it as well. But yeah, it's a little conservation shed. I think that's looking good. So the other thing I wanted to try and do was a little pathway. I want to try and make that look good. I'm not too sure. Whoops, not too sure how I'm going to do this. I was thinking something like this. Not entirely sure this is going to work, but unfortunately, because it's on a slope. You kind of get the idea, though, of what I'm trying to do, hopefully. So now, what do we think? Possibly, I'll keep going. It's not. It's because it's on a slope. I'll tell you what I needed to do, actually. I probably needed to do a line to surface, didn't I? Let's take them back, and let's just see if that works better if I do. entirely sure this is going to work, but let's give it a go. Just trying to come up with different ideas for stuff like this, you know. It's not easy creating pathways that aren't real. I've done it before in the game, and it's, yeah, sometimes you can pull it off and it does look okay, but not all the time. I think this is looking all right. Hopefully it will look like a little pathway anyway, and I'll try and find some nice little flowers to kind of put around the outside of it. I don't want any of the pieces touching. I want them all to be just slightly apart. Alright, I think we're nearly there. I think one like that, and then maybe just one more here. That looks pretty cool, actually. I like that. Do I need one more? I think I probably do, don't I? Just in here. Hang on, let's. In fact, I think if I do that one and then I try and squeeze one in just here. That's not quite. Let me just see. I might just budge this one. There we go. That looks good. I don't mind that it's just a little bit wonky there. That makes it just look a bit more natural. Awesome. Okay. Now let's have a look. So what I want around this is some really low growing stuff like this. I think there's something even denser than that. I want something that's, yeah, really dense but really low growing. I don't know if I want it right in the path or just along the edge. Let's see what else there is. I'm sure there's one that's even denser than that. Do you know, it might just not be called a bush. Oh, hello, that's new. I haven't seen a wild hedgerow before. I quite like that. That's quite nice, actually. I'm just wondering whether that kind of works here as a wild hedge. Just to actually create this sort of defined edge, certainly to the entrance here. And then whether I want this area to be kind of sealed off. Let's get rid of that for a second, because you wouldn't want people walking over this, so it could almost sort of join to here. And then maybe if I do like a triangle of it like that. Let's just drop that down a little bit, actually, and that one. Then I could have like a sign maybe in that bit there. I'll tell you what, I've just realised something that I want. An old thing like this, I feel like it needs a bit of a patch job on the roof, you know, like it's been repaired. or even if it's not been repaired, just looks like someone's just left a bit of wood sitting on the roof. Just, I don't know, just kind of looks like it should have something on the roof, doesn't it? Don't know. Anyway, there we go. That's cool. Yeah, I like that. And then I can do flowers around the rest, and that it just kind of creates an entrance way into our little conservation shed then, doesn't it? Which I kind of like. So this was the other thing, wasn't it? So let's see, where would you want... Oh, I didn't realise I'd attached that. Hang on, let's split that from the group. So yeah, so these things are great. I don't want it to be aligned to surface though. Oh, of course, now it's on a stupid angle. Okay, let's just get rid of that and start from scratch. Yeah, so I do like those beehive things, bug hotels. They just look cool. I'm actually in the middle of creating one in my garden at home here, trying to attract as many bugs and things into the house as I can. Right, let's get one in here. We'll get a few of them in. I think I don't want them too near to the pathway, really. I guess something like that, and then maybe one back here somewhere as well. Don't need too many. Just have a few dotted around. I think that looks nice. Right, and then as far as flowers go, I'm going to use a lot of this one because I think this one just looks amazing. Now I am thinking this, I probably do want to align to surface because it's a bit uneven. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to really just do a blanket of this stuff, and then I'm going to add in other plants around it. So this is kind of covering the floor. So I'll show you roughly what I mean. And what I'm going to do here, before I get going too much, is I'm going to group these together, because I've made this mistake before where you just spend ages doing something with lots of individual items and you don't group them together, and then you change your mind and then you have to delete them all individually. So I'm really going to go nuts with this stuff because I just love it, and I just think it as a garden, I think it's just the perfect plant for the look that I'm going for. So I want to leave an area fairly cleared here for the sloth, because I want them to, obviously I don't think they go down to the floor. I suppose they probably do at some point. I've not really watched them, and they don't move much anyway. But yeah, I don't want them to look like their floor is just covered up with flowers. You see what I mean? So I am going to leave gaps, obviously, but it's largely just going to be tons and tons of these all around this area, and it won't look brilliant to start with. I appreciate that, but once you start plugging it in with some other plants, filling gaps in, getting a few shrubs, maybe even a couple of small trees here and there as well, then hopefully the effect will ultimately look really, really nice. And if it doesn't, I apologise and I'll do it again. You know, until you do these things, you can never be too sure if it's going to work. But you got to try, haven't you? So yeah, this is going to be a fairly lengthy process, really. You notice every time I place one, I spin it round as well. That's just to try and vary the patterning up a little bit. You don't have to do it all the time, obviously, but it does help just so you don't end up with too many things looking identical right next to each other. Obviously in the butterfly area, doesn't matter. I will try and leave a little bit of floor space again, but it's not as important for these guys. Obviously butterflies want to land on flowers, so you don't need floor space for them. So while I'm doing this, let's talk. I hope you guys are enjoying it, the series so far. I'm having a lot of fun with this, so it's coming along really nicely, going much better than I thought it would, to be honest. I really like your feedback, so keep your comments coming. If you've got anything interesting you want to say, even if it's not interesting, let me know. Just talk to me. Got a few things changing soon, potentially with work. So I may actually be having some spare time soon, just shuffling some of my clients around, freeing up a bit of time to actually hopefully get a few extra hours a week where I can do some recording. So I may well have more videos coming out within the next few weeks, but we shall see. Because I really want to do more of this. I want to do so many other games as well. I've got a huge library of games that I'm waiting to play. And hopefully I will get some time to do that. But there's no guarantees in life, is there? But hopefully. Things have just changed a bit in my work. You know, I lost a bit of work. I gained some work. So I'm moving some clients around. And potentially that might allow me to have, I think on a Tuesday, I think it'll be just a couple of spare hours on a Tuesday morning where my little girl is with my parents and I can really start having just a bit of time on my own here at home to do some recording. That's my dream. We've all got to have a dream, haven't we? I don't dream big, I dream small. Right, this is starting to look quite full up now with these dudes. I call them dudes, just, you know, why not? I just love these flowers so much, they look great. So yeah, I'm very excited actually about potentially having some extra time to spend looking at some new games, doing more Planet Zoo. Foundation, obviously, I played a lot of that recently and I really want to do some more of that. I've got a series of that currently going, which I'm really enjoying. But there are many other sort of creative games that I want to try. And I just don't have time at the moment, unfortunately. I wish I did. I really wish I did, but I don't. And that is life. Life gets in the way. Right. I haven't actually thought about what I'm doing after this area, by the way, either. I'm going to leave it there. That's sort of as far that way as I'm going to go. So that's, woo, look at that. That's a lot of flowers, but that's great. That's a really nice start. See, and then you've got stuff like this, which you can just put in, just dot around, fill some of these gaps in, just kind of have them as these. It's tricky when you've got a line to surface on, but yes, the idea is that I can have these kind of just, excuse me, just filling in a few of these gaps. Hopefully you kind of get the idea of what I'm trying to achieve here. And by the time I do this and I add in a whole load of other plants as well, I'm hoping the effect is really nice. And if it's not, I'll have to think again, won't I? But I'm fairly confident. I don't want to overdo the different flowers because it's one of the arts of gardening and creating flower beds is not having too much variety of plants. Whoops, that one went wrong. You don't want to have, you know, a dozen different plants in one area because it just looks messy. But at the same time, you don't want just two. You want different colours, you want different textures, different shapes and sizes, different foliage. You know, so there are things to consider. This is a great plant because it's tall, so you want some height in a garden like this. So what I'm going to do here, I'm just going to take some of these, just put a few of them through here. Not really filling in gaps as such, but literally just getting them in where I think they'll look good. And I will also, because with that last one, all I used was the big size, and I don't want to just do that again. So I will go back and put in a few of the smaller versions as well. So you've got that, and then you've got your slightly thinner version as well, which I think will look good. Actually, I've got a little strip there. I didn't put the main plants in, so I'll go back and do that as well. Don't want too many of these because they will look a bit over the top, I feel, but just a few dotted here and there I think looks good. Now let's quickly just fill in that gap that I missed there. Oh, actually, let's get a line to surface back on. Okay. Right. What else have we got here? See, I like the idea of some sort of taller stuff like that, but not that. It's not a very good sort of garden cottage look. I will probably put a few ferns in, but I will keep them to probably around the sloth area. It's a bit of white. I mean, as a garden, it's not looking too bad. You don't want to go too over the top. Just wondering if I could put a bit of sea holly in. I quite like the sea holly. Again, it adds a bit of height. Does look kind of cool, this stuff, doesn't it? If we just get a few of these in. Just a few, not many. And I don't mind a bit of soil showing through either. That's just the sign of a garden that's still developing. Let's just get a couple of smaller bunches in around as well. Okay, let's just stand back and have a look. I don't know, I maybe should do them in this little gap here as well, or actually I might just continue the hedgerow in this gap here to kind of define this edge. Yeah, I think that looks good. Nice, yeah, that looks nice because it doesn't look too over the top, does it? It's just like a blanket of flowers that would be covered in all your little insects. Let's come around here. So yeah, so this is why I was thinking of just doing a few ferns. Let's go with bracken. Oops. Probably don't want the really big ones. Yeah, maybe a bunch like that. Maybe one of them just in there. Really don't want much of this, but just a couple. Maybe a low bit somewhere. Let's have a look. Where? Maybe just in there. And then I think really the rest of this should be left clear for the sloth to be walking around in. Now I've got to think, do I want, I'm just wondering about this sloth habitat, and I know that they're not going to use trees if I put them in, but just whether there is, yes, I see something like this that I could put in and make it look like they're kind of growing around their climbing frames. It could look kind of fun, couldn't it? think that kind of works. I don't think it'll. I assume it's not gonna. Yeah, because they don't even have a traversable area, do they? So I think that does work. I quite like that sort of palm as well. So maybe if I can get sort of one there and then one. Yeah, it doesn't have to be right in their little climbing thing, but actually something like that, you know, just adds a bit of flavour to their little habitat, doesn't it? I do quite like that. I don't think I need a third one. I think that would look over the top. Nice, I like that. I do wonder about the. I am going to end this episode in a minute, by the way. I know it's gone on a bit longer than normal, but I'm just interested in getting this area kind of finished, really. I'm just wondering whether I can have the sloth on here. Yes, I can. Good. There we go. I like that. Have a little education thing there. And do you know what? I'm going to put a fern on it. Just like the idea of it being buried in the buried in a little bit of undergrowth there. Give people something to read. There you go. Look, someone, I think she's already reading an information board. Excellent. There we go. That's what you want. Have people come in and read about the sloth. And the same over here. I think I can probably do an information thing here about various butterflies. Yeah, I've got 4 different butterflies, so actually I probably want to put 4 of these down and have a different butterfly on each. Would make sense, wouldn't it? Okay, there we go. Let's get these all done. Oh, apparently I put 5 butterflies in there. Okay, hang on. Let's get one more. I thought I'd only put 4 in. Apparently not. No, is that floating? No, that's fine. There we go. We've got our education boards in as well. Wow, there we go. I'm pretty happy with that. I may well come back and make some changes or add some bits in, but actually I think that's kind of the look I was going for. I will do a sign down here at some point, but or maybe just a statue or something. I'm not sure yet. But yeah, that'll be. I'll decide on that next episode. I'm going to call it a day there. I'm pretty happy with that. Let me know what you think. Do you like our little nature conservation area? What do you reckon? Let me know. Thank you very much for joining me. If you've had fun, if you've enjoyed the episode, please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Tell your friends about me. That would be great. If you want to support me, you can check out my Patreon page. And hopefully you can join me again in the next episode where we will do something new. I don't know what, but I might move into sort of this area here and do a whole new habitat. I'll probably try and do a bit more terrain work, maybe do something raised or even something down low potentially. I will have a think about that before I start recording. But until then, do take care of yourselves. Thank you once again, and I will see you soon. Bye for now.